Hello, Dr. Faith Brebner, Dr. Faith Brebner here, Deputy Political Leader, Tobago People's Party, Deputy Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, Secretary with responsibility for health, wellness, and social protection, area representative for the district known as Belgarden, Glamorgan. That goes all the way from Gosbo by the Bridge by Weirdos all the way to Kendall Farm School Junction. I am here. As you can see, if you know these walls behind me, I'm in my office in Glen Road, having come from, the typical, having come from the gym. And I'm doing my weekly check-in now because I have a couple things. Well, this weekend is a kind of packed weekend, so I said let me do it now before other things start happening, and I don't have the time and opportunity to do it. I want to talk about three quick things. One actually has to do with the fact that, okay, so this may seem like a silly question, but I realize it is not. I realized recently that people don't necessarily know what is a vegetable. Oh yeah, what is a vegetable? And it came up because I was having a conversation with some folks who, in my mind, are really, really bright people, really, top of the game kind of thing. And we were talking about the things that I've been eating and how I've been able to manage my weight and on this, on this health journey that I've been on, blah, blah, blah. And I was talking about the fact that there was a period where I strictly had proteins, vegetables, no refined sugar, so no added sugar. So the only sugars I had were what was in essence, what was in fruits, natural fruits, because I wouldn't drink anything with sugar. I wouldn't add sugar to my green tea. At that time, I stopped having coffee. I didn't have any alcohol, that kind of stuff. So I went kind of total fruits, proteins, vegetables kind of thing. And when I was talking about that, we started, in the middle of the conversation, somebody identified something that is a ground provision. Now, ground provisions are like, dasheen and sweet potato and that kind of thing, or even green fig and that kind of stuff. And I had to let them know that, the things you were talking about, those are, when I say vegetables, that's not what I'm talking about. You are actually talking about ground provision and so forth, or provision generally. And those are carbohydrates, the ground provision, the dasheen and the cassava and so forth. They are good carbohydrates. They are complex carbohydrates. So if you're having carbohydrates, those are the ones you should have. But if you are doing a proteins and vegetables, then you're not having carbohydrates, because carbohydrates break down into sugar. And if you're trying to reduce your intake in sugar so that your body can use up what's in it, and then it could start attacking the fats, which is what causes you to lose weight, basically. And it dawned on me that Tobagonians really probably don't know that ground provision. So the dasheen, the cassava, the yam, the tanya, those things are not vegetables. Vegetables are things like carrot and cabbage and the greens, the green leafy ones. So the dasheen bush, the dasheen bush, the lettuce, the the cabbage, the broccoli, those things are vegetables. The beetroot. Let me see what else I can think of. Those things, the sweet pepper, the pumpkin, those things are what we're talking about when we say vegetables. We're not talking about starches. Starches are, so when you think about a starch, most of us think about a starch as bread. So the flour breaks down to starch, and then if you keep chewing it, starches break down into sugar. That is why, I don't know if you remember in primary school, I think most of us did it in either primary school or secondary school, you put a piece of bread in your mouth and you keep chewing, and you realize that after a while it actually starts tasting sweet, because you are actually breaking down the starch in the bread into sugar. And that is what happens when you have other kinds of starches, the ground provision and so forth. So when I talk about proteins and vegetables, proteins meaning meats, chicken, beef, fish, you know, lamb, whatever are the meats that you are using, um, eggs, um, legumes, so peas, beans, those things, proteins, and vegetables, carrots, cabbage, lettuce. Those things are what I'm talking about. Not ground provision, not ground provision, guys. Just saying, just saying. And to those of us who are doing health education, I think we need to be very, very careful, or nutrition counseling, be very specific when we tell people what we are expecting them to eat, because they may genuinely not know. So that's one thing. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about. I wrote down the things I wanted to chat about because I didn't really, you know, the perimenopause, our brain doing its thing. So yes, that was one thing. Oh, the other thing I wanted to chat about here was this week has been really, really, really packed. So I just came back from Trinidad Friday evening, and that trip from Trinidad included me doing two things. So I went to a UNICEF World Child Day event because I was invited to that quite some time ago. That was on Thursday. And it was held in the Rotunda Gallery of the Parliament in Port of Spain. And it was a project that UNICEF did where they had children, young children did paintings, older children did photos, so they gave them cameras in the San Fernando area, and they went around and basically painted pictures or took photos of their community. So it was really it was really looking at San Fernando in the eyes of children, and it's a really a good project for us as adults to see how children see the world, and to see how some of the little things that we take for granted, how it affects them, because they had to kind of explain what it means and why they took the pictures or why they did the painting and that kind of stuff. So that was cute on Thursday. And because I was already in Trinidad on Thursday, the TRHA had a special visit because we were really trying to do a kind of twinning with the Northwest Regional Health Authority, NWRG, which is the RHA that is responsible for like Port of Spain and St. James, so you know, Northwest. We have been working very closely with the Northwest Regional Health Authority to come together to sign an MOU where we work even closer, where there's a natural understanding, where patients go back and forth, where our staff can go back and forth. So Northwest came to Tobago some time ago, and Tobago visited Northwest yesterday. And I decided, since I was in Trinidad from Thursday for that UNICEF thing, I would just stay over and join the team on Friday and do that visit with Northwest. Now that was really, really, really interesting. It was eye-opening. We had some very we learned some, you know, because the idea is to see what they are doing, see what works well for them, so that we can learn from them. And they did the same when they came to us. They looked at what works well for us, so that they could learn from us, so it's really a partnership we're trying to develop. We will soon sign an MOU that outlines explicitly what we are doing and how we are working together, and how this is going to be a seamless interaction. I also had the opportunity to visit the central block of the Port of Spain General Hospital, which is the new wing, in essence, of Port of Spain General Hospital that is now being built. Oh yeah, that is the building that the former Prime Minister and his colleagues did I guess it's a practical opening, a practical commissioning a couple months ago before they demitted office. Hey, them people mad. Them people wicked to actually go in that building and say they did a practical opening. What, like, listen. But yeah, we visited that, and we spent some time at the oncology center in St. James, the oncology unit in St. James as well. Again, figuring it out, how to learn. We're learning what works, what doesn't work. We got a really, really nice view of their health information system, which I will do. I did some videos of that, so I will put together a shorter thing of the health information system that they are working with, because it is something that we are looking at in Tobago to determine which way we go with our digitalization. I said digitalization. I hope that is the right thing, and the person who messaged me and said, say it with me because I keep saying the wrong thing, would watch this and know that I say digitalization of our healthcare services. So yeah, I'll do a video with that because it's really cool, it's really simple. They're using AI to do some stuff that's really, really cute. And yeah, it's a whole way of thinking that I think we can adopt in Tobago, and we can adopt it in Tobago relatively easily. Yeah, so I'm excited about that partnership. Yeah. What was the other thing? Listen, I am accepting the fact that my perimenopausal brain loves me, and I love my perimenopausal brain, and I need to do little things to help my perimenopausal brain work the way it should. Yeah. So I read in the notes because I completely forget what was the last thing I wanted to talk about. Oh God. Anyway, yes, got it. Yeah, so the last thing I wanted to talk about is something that I personally have been grappling with as a politician. And it is the difference between, it is the challenge of determining who you listen to as a politician. And what do I mean by that? I've recognized that we have a kind of system here where you have to listen to everybody. Yeah? And when I say listen to everybody, I mean listen to the loud minority, because there's usually a loud minority. There's usually a few people who loud. Now, in some instances, those loud few people are representing others. So it's not like they're loud and only representing themselves. Not necessarily. So you hear those voices, and they are the ones who call on the radio and call on the TV and on social media, typing out the soul case, you know, that kind of thing. Or doing their lives and whatnot. And we have to listen to them. We have to listen to them because they are speaking up for themselves, and in many instances they're speaking up for others who can't speak for themselves. But they're usually the louder minority. But we have to figure out how to hear and how to listen to the silent majority. Meaning the people who will never type on social media, the people who will never call in on a radio station or a TV station, the people who will never do a Facebook Live or a TikTok Live or Instagram Live. Like never, like they don't even know where the button is to do it. But they are the majority. They are the ones who make up the bulk of the population. And we have to figure out every single day how to ensure that the loud minority don't overpower the silent majority and don't make people like me act in a way that only benefits a few loud people. You know what I mean? And it's a struggle, and it's a battle, and it's a balancing act that you have to keep figuring out how to do it. How have I been able to do it? I actually listen to the people who message me privately, for example, and tell me what they truly think. Or they would meet me in the airport and they will whisper what they truly think. Yeah. We have to figure out how to listen to both groups of people, because we don't want to make the mistake of listening to the loud minority, making a decision and then making a decision that does not benefit the wider population. It's one of those things that we have to continually be wise in how we make those decisions. So my point really is, keep messaging us, keep sending the little snippets, keep sending the good morning, just saying hello, just know that I'm praying for you, just know that we agree with this, that, or the other, or we don't agree with this, that, or the other. Just keep doing that. Keep whispering it to us. Keep sending those messages to us, because we're listening. We're listening. We're listening. We're listening. All right, guys, it's been a lovely week. I am excited about the possibilities of the week that is coming. The Tobago People's Party will officially announce, the political leader will officially announce who the 13 selected nominees are thus far, as we continue to work on getting the 2 other nominees. We put out a press release last night, that spoke to the fact that we have 13. We have 13, and there are 2 that we're still looking at. There are 2 that we're still looking to find the best, because we want the best. In finding the best, we have asked for the action groups, the district councils, to continue submitting additional names, and then we're going to look at the entire pool. And that's the thing. We are asking for additional names, but we are asking for additional names to look at the entire pool. I don't know if you all understand that. So the people whose names were in the pool before, it's not like we've scratched out their names. It's not like the party is not considering them, but we are looking at all of the pieces. We are looking at what the other parties are throwing up, because some of them announced their candidates already and so forth, and we're looking to see the perfect matchup, because the perfect matchup, if their candidate was could have been one person, but because they switch out that candidate, we now kind of re-strategizing to see if our perfect candidate may actually be somebody else than than who we had originally thought of before, and that kind of stuff. So it's what I say is chess, not checkers we're playing. It's chess, not checkers we're playing. But keep praying for us, keep working with us, keep sending your positive thoughts and energies. Keep using your time and your energy wisely, because this is a tiring exercise. And we're here for the long haul. So don't kill out yourself just yet. Keep using your time and your energies wisely. Yeah? All right. You all have a blessed Saturday. See you.